Eu bebo sim, estou vivendo. Tem gente que não bebe, está morrendo. Eu bebo sim, estou vivendo. Tem gente que não bebe, está morrendo. Eu bebo sim, eu bebo sim.
Well, Give Something Back is a for-profit business in the office products marketplace. So we sell office products, office supplies, furniture, printing to businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies. Our goal is to offer our customers the best price and products that they need to run their businesses, and our goal is to make a profit. The name Give Something Back for us implies that the profit that we make as a company, we donate to nonprofit organizations that are working in various communities trying to make the quality of life better. So we don't have stockholders or investors that have a claim on the profit. We use the business we use the power of the marketplace to raise profits from the success of the business to support the nonprofit organizations serving the community. So what we do is we take the profits that we make regionally, and we allow those profits to be distributed by the customers and employees who live and work in that region. So just to give you an example, 15% of our business now comes out of our Sacramento, California region. That's about 15% of our business. So 15% of our profits are going to be donated to Sacramento-based organizations that are working on Sacramento-based community problems, chosen for us from a balloting process, a democratic balloting process involving our Sacramento customers. So even though I own the company or own half the company, I don't have any influence on where the profits from Sacramento are going to be distributed. That influence is exercised by the people who live and work in those communities. So our goal is to not have the rich and the powerful decide which are the community needs that are most important, because those decisions reflect a fairly narrow, limited bias. We want to broaden that perspective out as broad as we can, so that everyone has an opportunity to weigh in on the process of who's most deserving and what the most important problems are. So it's essentially a democratic process. So as a matter of fact, I would say that in the next 25 years, we will be able to look back and we will say that now is the time that we have developed this kind of fourth sector of the economy. I mean, they have the government sector, we have the private sector, we have the nonprofit sector in the United States, which is almost $1 trillion sector of the economy now. We're now beginning to develop this fourth sector of the economy, which is specifically private business that's committed to using business as a tool to accomplish some positive social outcomes. Just think of our situation. We started our company 18 years ago with $40,000. Sean Marks, my business partner, and I had $40,000, $20,000 each. And what we could have at that time, when we decided to go in this career direction, we could have made a $40,000 donation to a nonprofit organization. It would have been a very nice donation. But instead of that, we invested it in a business which in the past 18 years has created donations to nonprofits, millions of dollars of donations to nonprofits, continues to grow as a business. So that initial $40,000, when invested in the power of business, has created multiples and multiples of benefits, community benefits, in a way that only business can do. So if business can be harnessed as a tool on behalf of the community, as an additional tool, then I think a huge leap forward can be made in creating another element of the kind of the socioeconomic kind of foundations of social justice and fairness. And social justice and fairness, I think, are universal goals.
A empresa trabalha desde 1991, revertendo todos os lucros para a comunidade, em um modelo de negócio muito parecido com as empresas sociais sugeridas por Mohamed Yunus, onde os investidores recebem de volta apenas o capital investido inicialmente. A empresa já doou aproximadamente 5 milhões de dólares desde sua criação. Uma das empresas beneficiadas é the Youth Employment Partnership, que faz a ponte entre jovens sem recursos e o mercado de trabalho, oferecendo capacitação escolar e técnica, vagas no mercado, desenvolvendo empreendedorismo e outros. A diretora do centro reconhece a importância do Give Something Back.
Give Something Back is invested in our organization in all kinds of ways. Everything from donating the furniture in this room, because nonprofits can't really invest in things like nice conference room furniture, right? So everything from that all the way up to bridging a loan so that we could purchase this very large warehouse. It's 26,000 square feet, and we own 10,000 square feet of lots behind us. I mean, I've never heard of businesses investing that kind of capital to capitalize a nonprofit. And so it gives us independence to pursue what we need to pursue. And as you know, we're just one of many nonprofits he invests in. But I think one of the things that really started to change business strategy is when the young people that I work with who've had very challenging lives start to become part of their staff. And so the other thing that Give Something Back does is they hire a lot of our trainees, and they work there for a long time. I mean, if I went over there right now, there are probably at least 10 people working in the office who at one point were clients here. And so that starts to create a different understanding among professionals about kind of the plight of poor kids and teens. And it takes a lot of the fear that people have of poor kids and teens, as well as the stereotypes and all of those things out of the dynamic. And so by investing in us, everything from office projects to furniture to helping us buy a building to hiring our kids and giving them real opportunities, they really start to change culture and understanding about poverty and about the benefit emotionally and socially and everything about really investing in a structure that gives back.
So, and we fully believe that that 25 years from now, companies like ours will constitute a significant part of the economy, because I think that makes perfect sense, that there's an additional competitive advantage to operating within the marketplace, but having the ability for customers to choose businesses like ours and not only get their economic needs met, but also their sense of social responsibility to be realized. I mean, in America, by the way, the nonprofit sector is only 100 years old. There was no nonprofit sector until the 20th century. It was a sector that emerged as a solution to an identifiable social problem that government and business could not solve. And over 50 years in the first part of the 20th century, there was one nonprofit organization and another nonprofit organization, and next thing you know, the tax codes are changed, the federal laws are changed, and now there's, just within 50 miles of us right now, there's 25,000 nonprofit organizations, 25,000 of them. Well, imagine if there's 25,000 businesses like Give Something Back 25 years from now, you know, dominating the office supply business, dominating the the clothing business, dominating the food business. This is still one of the richest countries in the history of the world. And I think more and more people are waking up to the fact that in the conditions of such prosperity, the disparities between the people who are the rich and the people who are the poor can no longer be justified. And there are mechanisms that are now in play, like business mechanisms, that can create a society that's built on more just and fair foundations. That the consequences of delay are unimaginable. I'm one of those people who actually does believe the science on global warming and increasing poverty and the change of the ecostructure and stuff like that. So I think fundamental changes are necessary. So the models that are being developed right now by companies like ours and others, I think are going to be seen as necessary transitional kind of models to to provide the kind of life that's possible in a prosperous world.